Hey everyone, welcome back to another one of my videos. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make these do-it-yourself mosaic tile type of classroom borders. So I put these on the bulletin boards in my classroom, and I get a lot of questions about how I make them, because I do make them myself. So what you're going to need is some blank white printer paper, some scraps of cardstock, which is what I use it from Michaels, and you're going to need some glue, and you're going to need some scissors, just because some of the shapes may not fit correctly, so you want to cut them into the correct shapes when you do need different shapes for your tiles. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. So you want to start off with a blank piece of printer paper, just the regular white printer paper. You're going to fold that in half, and you're only going to be gluing pieces on one side. So you're going to be gluing them into geometric patterns, I guess. So you want to look mostly at the white lines in between each of the pieces. Those are called the grout lines. So just like any piece of tile mosaic, those are grout lines. So your job is to make sure that those grout lines stay basically straight lines. Okay, so if you're cutting your pieces into curved shapes, it's just not going to work. It's not going to look very good. So when you're cutting the pieces, start off by cutting just straight lines through the paper into straight geometric shapes. And you want to make sure that you are placing them on the paper to where the white grout lines are still straight lines. It's okay if you have extra room in between these lines, because you can fill those in later, or if you want, you can just leave it like that. You don't want to push all of the shapes together too closely, just because the grout lines will get a lot smaller and the whole piece of paper will start to look very crowded, and I personally don't like that. If you do like that, then go for it, but that's not what I like. So you're just going to grab pieces that you've already cut. Again, you're making straight lines when you do cut them, and you're gluing them into different places on the paper so that all of the white grout lines are just straight lines. And if you do see some bigger kind of clumps of white, that's fine. You can go in and glue some in there, like right here, or if you prefer, you can just leave it. For me, I'm not too picky because these do take a little bit of time to create, so I don't want to waste too much time going back and making each one perfect. Also, I suggest once you're finished, you do go in and laminate them just so that they last a little longer. When you're gluing, try not to use too much glue. And just a little heads up, I decided to let my students help me with this one year, and it just didn't work out. Kids get too excited over glue, and it just becomes a really sticky mess. So if you are like me and you're kind of OCD about it, you want everything to look nice and perfect, then don't let your students do it. But if you don't really care as much, you can definitely let your students try it out. And if they finish early, they can just help you out with borders. But again, it depends. If you want it to look really nice and you're kind of particular about it, just definitely try and do it yourself. So I'm going to speed up what it's like when I'm doing it. You're just gluing them all into different places. This is basically what you're doing the whole time. And if some shapes don't fit, that's why you have your scissors. You can cut them into different shapes, cut them into smaller shapes if you need to fill in holes. But the scissors are definitely there to make it a whole lot easier. So use the scissors. Don't try and fit pieces where they don't belong, and definitely don't have pieces coming off the edges. I really do not like it when they come off the edges because it tends to look sloppy. And the last tip I give for you is definitely make sure you're splitting up colors. So you don't want to have all of the blue in one corner and all of the red in another corner. Split them up so it looks like they are just scattered around in a nice colorful pattern. And this is what it looks like when it's finished. So on the left you can see the mosaic tile borders, on the right you see the tissue paper borders that I had before, but I think I like the left side a whole lot better, but that's what it looks like when it's finished. And as always, if you're interested in anything that you see in this video, I link everything down in the description bar. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Bye!